Welcome back, Bralvonians. Welcome to the Bralvos, the only NFL awards show where the tuxedos are supposed to be imaginary. Apparently, I didn't get the
Imaginary.
memo. Yeah, I didn't get the
Told me
memo.
you were dressing up for this one. You uncultured swine. It's the Bravos.
We told the Bravos that I wasn't going to try and fit into that. No one wants to see that. Come on now.
That's fair. It's feeling a little tight if I got to be a little
You
honest.
look
So
sharp though, fella. You're looking good
thanks,
there.
man. Bow tie every like 5 years.
Well, you know, you gotta make sure it still ties up there. You know, neck didn't get too fat on you or anything. So.
Absolutely.
Well, normally we're supposed to be pretty unprofessional here, but Calvo looks great. So, aside from that, though, the champagne's flat, but at least the takes are hotter than the seat under Mike McDaniel's ass right now.
Yeah, that's right, man. And tonight we celebrate the best of the best, the brightest stars, and the moments that keep us coming back every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and sometimes Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday in the playoff. Yeah, every day. It should be every day of the week. But
Yeah,
from
why not?
MVPs to breakout rookies, from clutch performers to coaches who know how to get the best out of their squads, we're giving props where props are due. And maybe we're going to throw a few elbows along the way.
Yeah, yeah. And let's be honest, it wouldn't be the Bravos without a little chaos, a little shade, and at least one category that makes people question what we think award show even are.
Right, you are. But got to keep things fun, though. And I mean, if we're being honest, this season has been wild. We've seen incredible plays, we've seen shocking upsets, and more emotional damage than an entire Taylor Swift breakup album.
Well, now she's getting the D, so she's all positive and shit. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
The fall of Taylor Swift. But yes, now that we've hit the halfway point of the 2025 season, it's time to hand out some hardware or, metaphorical hardware since our production budget's taken a massive hit with all these tariffs going on these days.
Anyway, so grab your flat champagne, of course, dim those lights, and prepare for the night where heroes get crowned, great moments get immortalized, and somehow we all still walk away having lost IQ points.
No, that definitely tracks because I usually feel a little dumber after listening to you for an hour.
And as you can see, the vibes are immaculate tonight as we kick off our third annual Bravos episode. You can't be that dumb yet, though, buddy. You just cashed in a few G's, that massive parlay this past week, so that's got to feel pretty good heading into the second half. Like your bets now are covered for the rest of the year, and then some. You lucky ass.
Yeah, I got a little lucky games going into extra innings, but yeah, man, it kind of helps ease the pain a little bit. But luckily, we got the Bravos this week to boost the spirits. And yes, you're right. The vibes are immaculate right now.
Yes, sir. So, should we jump right in? Oh, we can't jump into the Bravos because we got to talk week 9 first, since it could factor in to our decisions here. So, what do you think? Jump into week 9?
Yeah, let's do it. And why don't we start with the Broncos versus the Texans? Felt like this was kind of a game we were all looking forward to, right? We got the Broncos riding high. They're coming in super hot, and Texans are kind of up and down. Broncos, dude, move into a tie for the best record in the AFC.
Who'd have Broncos, thought? The Colts, and the New England Patriots. Who would have thought? Tied for tops in the AFC at 7-2.
Pardon me?
Right? What kind of year is this? But yeah, the Broncos go to 7-2. The Houston Texans fall to 3-5, and they lose CJ Stroud despite actually losing him in the second quarter of this game. This game was still super close. Like Denver only won 18-15, kind of a defensive battle. But yeah, the Texans lose Stroud. Concussion protocol. Not sure how long he's going to be sidelined. These things, there's never a timetable, right? So. Right. Not sure what the rest of Houston's season looks like at 3-5 with no Stroud for maybe a couple weeks. So,
right. Well, at the beginning of the year, we thought maybe the Texans would be in the conversation for one of the best teams in the AFC, and it certainly hasn't started that way. We've seen some ups and downs, and now, you've got your biggest piece out of the lineup. Who knows for how long? Obviously, these tests are pretty rigorous to make sure that he can withstand another hit if he gets back out there. And having a conky or two throughout the years, I can attest, there's some really good days and then some really bad days. So it's one of those things that you hate to see it for Stroud, as he's kind of been finding his groove over the last couple of weeks, right? And finally building some momentum. And now he's taken, another couple steps back. So tough one for the Texans.
Hopefully he's back soon. As the Texans go, CJ goes, right? So if he's not there, they're Davis Mills is not going to get them to the playoffs. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. The
Yeah.
Broncos may not have any trouble making the playoffs. That's for sure.
No, no, no. Well, so jump from the AFC to the NFC. The San Francisco 49ers go to 6-2. They beat the Giants. The Giants fall to 2-7. They beat the Giants 34-24. Surprisingly, it's week 9 and Christian McCaffrey is still healthy, buddy. I think even McCaffrey's surprised at this point, but
What
not
the
only
hell's
that,
going on? He's probably saying prayers before every game. Like, please.
yeah, please don't let me tear something else here today. But he's still
Right.
doing McCaffrey things. Put up 173 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns in this one. The Niners, and I think they're getting Brock Purdy back next week. Niners look better than I really thought they would.
Yeah, they just surprisingly were able to kind of just stay afloat, right? With Mac Jones and 6-3 record, and most of that's been with Mac Jones. So
Yeah,
kind of hard to argue what's been going on here. And yeah, they've really heavily leaned on Christian McCaffrey as they usually do. And here we were over the last couple of weeks debating, is it Gibbs, Bijan, Taylor as the best running back, and right now McCaffrey's the best one out of them all through the halfway point of the year. So McCaffrey reminding everybody that probably with one ass cheek and 3 toes, he's still probably better than 9% of the league.
he's got enough talent in those 3 toes to beat most guys, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's talk about those Colts because no one expected this. So they fall to 7-2. The Pittsburgh Steelers beat them. What?
Yeah, and I mean, I think I saw a funny thing. It was like, man, the Steelers defense reset Jones back to factory settings.
Yeah.
Very uncharacteristic game of himself this week.
Yeah.
5 turnovers of the 6, but
Yeah.
for Jones alone. So
Yeah.
not great. Not a good look for Jones, but I'm sure he'll bounce back just fine. I think the vibes are too immaculate in Colts Town for that to happen right now. So.
Yes, sir. And they've been stocking up at the deadline. We'll talk more about that a little bit later because it is trade deadline day. So we do have a few things we were going to cover, but first we'll finish wrapping week 9. Yeah, 6 turnovers by the Colts is wild, buddy. That's something we obviously haven't seen out of them this year at all, like at all. They've been probably the most efficient offense in the league. So yeah, I guess you're going to have these days. And, when you run into a defense like Pittsburgh's who can get after it any given day, it'll happen sometimes. So, yeah, Pittsburgh
Yeah.
goes to 5-3 and firmly in control of that pretty weak AFC North.
Right. Well, and the one thing that we witnessed this past week too was kind of the fall from grace for Jonathan Taylor. He really struggled in this
Yeah.
one, and it just kind of showed that offense wasn't clicking like it normally does. So no doubt if they want to get back on track, got to get Taylor more involved. So
Can't be on every week, I guess. And speaking of a team who was not on for a change, the Green Bay Packers
Woo!
lose their second game of the year. How do you lose this? This knocked a bunch of people out of survivor pools, I guarantee it. Packers
Sure
drop
did.
a tough one to the visiting Carolina Panthers 16-13. The Panthers roll into Lambeau, buddy, and knock off the Pack. What happened?
You know what happened? They ran into Rico Dowdle. This guy's just a killer lately. Man,
Yeah, he
another
is.
130 yards and 2 scores. Carolina's like, you know what, bud? Here's the reins. You're going to upseat Chuba Hubbard.
Mhm.
And what does he do? 130 and 2 tutties. Safe
Just
to say he's wrestled that one away, right?
kind of stole the starting job from Chuba, and I'm not a huge fan of that. Made a trade fairly recently to acquire Chuba Hubbard in one of my fantasy pools. So
Yeah.
I kind of hate that
Did
he's
the
lost his
certain
job, but
co-host chirp you about that one
you
too?
did. You did.
Ooh,
You did.
sorry,
And
bud.
you wouldn't shut up about it. So, but
And
dude,
now you know. There's your sign.
I mean, you got to ride the hot hand when Dowdle's performing like this. You can't.
Sure.
I mean, you can't sit him. So
Well, what's crazy though is now Dowdle, that's 2 starting jobs in a row he's stolen.
yeah,
Took it from Tony Pollard, and now
that's
I
right.
guess Zeke, if you will. But
Yeah.
now taking over Chuba Hubbard, who was lights out last year, right? So this goes to show you this league is very much what have you done for me lately, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's 100% what it is. And don't look now, dude, but the Carolina Panthers are 5-4, firmly in the mix of that NFC playoff race.
Whew.
I know you love this outcome because Green Bay losing a game that, by all intents and purposes, they should have won.
Right.
All the Lions had to do at this point to regain first place in the NFC North, obviously, was to handle the business at home against a struggling Vikings squad. So obviously that's kind of what happened, right, bud?
You shut up.
Right, bud?
Lions won, right?
Lions won, right?
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 Oh man, what a What an uncharacteristic game, I think is what I'm going to say about
Yeah.
that. We allowed a lot of pressure to Jared Goff, penalized out the ass in this one, which is not like us. I think we had at least 10 penalties. And yeah, we just,
Undisciplined.
anytime we made any progress, we'd either, we had a fumble by David Montgomery, which gave them plus territory, which was pretty much the difference in this game. And then we also had a blocked field goal attempt too, which doesn't help either. That got returned. So,
Yeah.
all in all, not the greatest game for the Lions, but I'm gonna give kudos to the Vikings. They showed up, they balled out, they had a ton of pressure, like I said, defensively, and their offense scored 3 more points than ours did.
Well,
So,
especially since their defense has been kind of bad this year. The Vikings defense has definitely struggled compared to how they looked last year, but definitely held your run game in check, which is not something most teams can do very often,
no,
right? Jameer Gibbs, the so-called best running back in the league, 9 carries for 25 yards, right? So if I read that correctly, yeah. And
yeah,
Montgomery only had 40 yards. So I
yeah,
mean, both running backs couldn't get over the 50-yard marker, and they had 20 touches between them. So
yeah. I guess my question is, how many games has Saquon had like that?
so moving on.
No, you're right though. They definitely stymied the run
Yeah,
game, and it was pretty frustrating to watch. And again, I felt like it was very predictable. Again, a lot of screen passes for no
yeah,
reason.
yeah.
And I wouldn't have expected this coming out of the bye week from them. So it was a pretty disappointing game, especially with like you said, the Packers losing, and
Yeah.
they had
Opportunity there.
prime
Yeah.
opportunity there. So
Yeah, you
that's
can't
right.
come out of a bye week having 2 weeks off to prepare for a home date against the Vikings and come out with that kind of effort, right? So,
Yeah. Yep. Very uncharacteristic, but
yeah.
hey, any given Sunday.
Yeah. Speaking of any given Sunday, this was a wild one. The Jacksonville Jaguars OT thriller started very slow. Like this game was boring for the first half. It was scoreless after the first quarter, 6-3 at halftime, but exploded in the fourth quarter in OT. I think 44 combined points in the fourth quarter in OT combined.
Yep.
But let's forget the last points for a sec. How about the first Jacksonville points of the day? Cam Little, the kicker for the Jacksonville Jaguars, sets a new NFL record 68-yard field goal just before halftime. Tops Justin Tucker's 66-yarder that had been, I guess, tops for a few years now. So,
Yep. What a boot,
what a boot.
man. And thing is, it almost got tied later on in the night by or last night, I guess, with Brandon Aubrey, but he missed
Right.
it. So,
Well,
and
if anyone's
plenty of
going to
leg
do it,
though.
it'll be Brandon Aubrey, right?
Plenty of leg, just missed it wide. So,
Yeah.
man, yeah, these kickers, they're getting insane. Like
Yeah.
soon you don't even have to worry. You're gonna be like, oh, we got to our 30-yard line. Here's the kick. We're good.
Yeah, well, and that's it. And like kickers are starting to be able to kick bombs from pretty much anywhere in the field.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
And they can be game changers, right? We've seen it for years with Justin Tucker,
Yep.
countless others, right? So all you need is a chance. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, if these guys are that accurate, then take advantage, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Jacksonville moves to 5-3,
Yeah,
keeping
they do.
their hopes alive. You know, it's been kind of crazy though. I feel like a lot of weeks so far, there hasn't really been a whole ton of one score games. And I feel like this week was just littered with them.
Yeah.
And for a team that's so up and down in the Atlanta Falcons, last week's dumpster fire of the week, 3-5,
Yep.
can't get it done after being chirped. They lose 24-23 to the New England Patriots.
Hell of an effort, though.
Hell of an effort. But
Yeah, I mean they came in and no one really expect like New England is a bit of a juggernaut this year. I don't think a ton of people expected this one to be this close. Falcons had every chance to win this one, and Parker Romo, their kicker, missed the extra point on their touchdown that they scored late in the fourth, and it would have been a tie game. You can't be missing extra points, man, in the fourth quarter. And then they did have a chance to get the ball back because they kicked the ball away. New England went 3-and-out, and Atlanta got the ball back. Instead, for whatever reason, they felt like punting. They moved the ball a couple yards, but they decided to punt with 2 minutes left and only I think one or two timeouts left. What are you doing, man? You're never going to see that ball again. And sure enough, they
right.
didn't. New England locked it down 7-2.
Yep. Well, hey, that's why they're the dumpster fire last week,
That's
right?
right.
Guys got to do their jobs. And yes, to get to 7-2, you got to be a little bit lucky,
Yeah,
right? There's going to be things that happen along the way, but
for sure.
let's be real. The Patriots are taking care of business too. Like
Yeah,
they're looking good offensively. Even though they're down a few weapons, Ramondre missed this one, but Travion Henderson stepped in and did very serviceably. And who knows, maybe he'll finally get an opportunity, seeing as the Patriots didn't add a running back over the trade deadline here. But
Yeah.
you know what? Yeah, lose them by 1 point. Like I said, that's the epitome of the Atlanta Falcons, and it's a good thing their fans pre-grieved.
I mean, Michael Penix outdueled Drake May. You don't see that a lot. Drake May hasn't been
No,
outdueled much this year, but Penix definitely outdueled him in this one. But of course, the Falcons find a way to lose, right? And this obviously felt very Falcony. This was a typical Atlanta blowing it type of loss. So I mean, they're kind of making a habit of ugly losses this year. But
yeah,
what are you going to do? We talk shit about Atlanta blowing games in spectacular fashion, but the real kings of finding ways to lose, the Cincinnati Bengals.
oh
This
man.
game probably, well, unreal ending, probably game of the week for sure, and in the running for game of the year, I'd say maybe.
I heard that there's a petition to change the Bengals logo to a literal dumpster fire.
I'd support that. That seems fitting.
Motion ruled.
Motion passed. You got my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass it along.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean it's actually unfathomable how they can just continue to find ways to
How does
lose
this
like this.
happen?
Like literally all you need is one stop and you can't get it ever. Ever. Like it
Like
is just comical at this point.
58-yard touchdown from a tight end with 17 seconds on the clock. All you have to do is tackle the guy. Like play the prevent defense and bring the guy to the. It's a tight end. How is he? Oh my God, Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's
Colston Loveland from Caleb Williams. I mean, say what you want about Cincy's defense. Like Caleb Williams carved him up. He looked great.
oh yeah.
Bears are what 5-3 now. So
But let's be real, a lot of quarterbacks look great playing the Cincy defense,
yeah,
right?
true enough. Yeah,
And yeah, Flacco was one of them. So much so that they're like, you know what? We should trade for this guy.
yeah.
And let's be real, he's been awesome for the Bengals. Their defense just sucks so bad. You know, they're just blowing leads in the last minute of pretty much every game that they're even close in. Like it's just like, how do you find a way that you can just have the ball for the last 6 minutes of the game? That's the only way you're almost going to guarantee a victory if you're up.
Absolutely heroic effort out of Joe Flacco. Almost 500 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. T. Higgins, I don't know if you saw any of this game, any of the
Oh,
highlights. T.
gross.
Higgins had an absolutely disgusting catch for one of his touchdowns. Oh, along the
Yeah.
sideline. Oh, you nasty T. Higgins. That was
Oh, you
gross.
nasty.
Whew. But, you know, 500 yards passing out of your quarterback and 4 touchdowns, and you still, like, you put up 42 points and you still lose. There's, there's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that.
No.
No.
Well, and especially like if you look at it from the Bengals standpoint, we talked about it last week how they missed a prime opportunity, right? With the Steelers losing. Now all of a
Yeah.
sudden the Ravens get Lamar back and they're going to start cruising. So you really ruined any chance you had
Yeah.
at staying relevant in this division, and I think it's done for them now.
For sure. Like you're at 3-6 now, but there's probably about of those 9 games, there's probably 4 or 5 that you should have won and just couldn't close. So it's on you. It's on you, and it's another lost season for Cincinnati at this point. And you know what? Last year, remember how I was not willing to write them off? They were like 3-6 or something, and I was still like, Cincinnati's gonna turn the corner, and they did. But I think I'm writing them off already this
You
year.
know what though? Like I think if we have to be honest about it, I don't even know if this would be any different if Joe Burrow was playing.
No,
Because it's not like Flacco's playing terrible.
no.
He's lighting teams up with these receivers. The
Flacco has proved
defense,
that Joe Burrow like isn't one of one, right? Like a
right?
lot of guys can come in and run that offense. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, hell, even Jake Browning was doing it for a while, and
yeah,
then he just kind of fell off this year. So, yeah, unfortunately for the Bengals, they suck again.
they do suck again. But the Bears are looking pretty good, and rookie running back Kyle Monangai had 198 yards from scrimmage. This guy, I I don't know. Like I know DeAndre Swift's still the official starting running back in Chicago, but how long until Monangai takes over the starting role?
Ah, come on, guy.
It's a
No, it probably
great
won't be
last name.
long, and and that's kind of the big talk, right?
Yeah.
And all you really need is an opportunity for you to get a job.
Yeah.
And we've seen it with Rico Dowdle. Chuba Hubbard went down, and now Dowdle's taken over.
Yeah.
Swift misses this one with a groin injury, I think it was. And yeah, Manon guy gets a chance. ball's out, chances are it's going to be hard to take that ball away from him in the future. So,
Okay, buddy.
don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it, but that's the way it's got to be. Buddy, week 9 is in the books. We're halfway through the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
What do we trade deadline is today? We got some moves. Like we got most trade deadlines are not this busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, you see a couple of moves throughout the day, and it's like teams exchanging picks for like borderline roster players. But there's been some movement this deadline, and I wasn't going to talk about it today because it is the Bravos episode. But there's some huge moves we've got to cover because it's going to change the outlook for a lot of teams going forward here the rest of the year. Like leave it leave it to the Dallas Cowboys to fall to 3-5-1, losing by 10 at home to the Cardinals, and then still decide, you know what, we're buyers. We're 3 games back, 4 games back in the division half a season ago. We're buyers. We're all in. So they go and they get Quinnen Williams from the Jets, who, don't get me wrong, is a fucking stud of a defender. Defensive tackle Quinnen Williams from the Jets is a huge get. But I don't understand what you're doing. You gave up Mozzie Smith, you gave up a second and a first for Quinnen Williams. Oh my god, what are the Cowboys doing, man?
I don't know. They're like, maybe that was all it took. Is like, man, our defense really actually does stink. We just lost to the Cardinals. We should probably go get some help. But
How did they not realize that sooner?
Because it's Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah, true.
Probably took him till week 10 to remember who he was, to be honest.
Oh, we have defense on this team,
right?
Oh,
but
man.
I think too, like with how good that offense has typically been this year, like even 3-5-1, they're not a death sentence right now. You know what I mean? So, hey, you get a couple of pieces. I think they just got Logan Wilson from the Bengals as well, linebacker. So they kind of shored up a couple of positions. So who knows? I don't think it'll be enough for them, but they might squeak into the last playoff spot.
Steep hill to climb to grab a wild card spot at this point, but it's possible still. The math is mathing. So we know the Jets are sellers. The Colts picked up Sauce Gardner. This was This is huge. This is a massive get for the Colts, who already have a really good offense and a pretty good defense. You add Sauce Gardner to your defensive backs room. Oh my god, man!
Kind of makes you wonder why the Jets were willing to move on from him.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he just signed an extension like last year. But yeah, the Colts paid a hefty price to get a game breaker on the defense, and man, that just makes them a little bit more scary too.
Yeah. So going the other way is Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver from the Colts, and the Jets also get a couple of firsts out of this 2026 and a 2027 first. I think the Jets have like 5 first-round picks or 6 first-round picks in the next 2 years or something. So
it's crazy.
The Jets should be good, but
yeah, right.
you know they can't draft well. So they'll find I'm sure they'll find a way to blow it. But also acquired from the Jets, Philly got cornerback from the Jets as well, Michael Carter from the Jets for John Mechie, wide receiver, and a 6th. So we also got Philly on bye week, but still busy making lots of moves. We also got Jair Alexander from the Ravens and linebacker Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. So the Eagles busy shoring up that defense that's been having some problems this year.
Well, this is what's really fucking annoying to me. So you guys go out, you make 3 moves somehow.
Yep.
Obviously, you guys get a little bit better.
Didn't
really cost you much of anything. And the Lions stand pat and don't do a goddamn thing.
Darth Howie just uses the force and just convinces teams to give up players for 7th round picks.
Yeah, he's giving out handies on the side.
He must be, but whatever. That's my GM right there.
A couple interesting moves for you guys, because obviously, outside of Quinyon Mitchell, you're pretty concerned about what was going on in the secondary, at least in the corner room, right?
We needed some corners for sure.
So you went out and got 2 more. The Jair Alexander one is very surprising to me. More so from the Ravens side, because like I said, you're trying to climb back in it.
Yeah.
You just got him this year. So is it not a chemistry fit? Like, what's going on that they're like, hey, we don't really want you.
And it's weird considering the Ravens have won 2 in a row and have decided that they're also buyers at the deadline, because they also went out and got a linebacker today. Right. They got Draymond Jones from the Titans for I think, what would they pay for him, a 5th? So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but I really think, like, a lot of people talk about how Jair Alexander's maybe past his prime. I think you get him in the right situation, the right defense with Vic Fangio calling the shots, and I think it'd be pretty good.
Right. Well, I think the theme of this trade deadline, though, is receivers moving finding new homes because yeah, we talked about the Jets. They got Adonai Mitchell. They also got John Mechie. Dude, two big ones moving.
Oh yeah,
Jacoby Myers goes to the Jaguars
finally got what he wanted.
for yeah, finally gets traded from that dumpster fire Raiders team
Oof.
for fourth and a sixth round pick.
Hmm.
Pretty good move for the Jaguars, especially the state of affairs. I think Brian Thomas has been battling some injuries,
Yeah,
still playing through them. Travis Hunter's on the IR.
yeah,
And then the rest of them just aren't really getting it done a whole lot. So they definitely got a de facto number 1B, I guess you can call it, in
yeah.
Jacoby Myers. And so it'll be interesting to see how the Jaguars use him moving forward because that's definitely an upgrade to their offense.
Jags are a good team. They're 5-3. They're obviously buyers this year. They're all in on a playoff run. So yeah, I mean that you need solid depth, and their their wide receiver room's definitely hurting. So Jacoby Myers is a nice pickup.
Right. Well, one receiver room that's not going to be hurting anymore. Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Dude, they've got Jackson Smith-Njigba lighting up the league.
Yep.
They got old man Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, who's starting to break out a little bit. And then you go out and you trade for Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Ruining my fantasy dreams here of Torrey Horton
I was
taking
gonna
off in the
say
second round.
Horton owners in fantasy are they're definitely punching the air after this Shaheed trade.
Oh my God. And he's just starting to boom too.
Yeah.
But I think partly why they went and made this trade is because Cooper Kupp's been hurting. He missed the
Yep.
last game, which gave Horton a little bit more opportunity. So, Rashid is definitely that long bomb threat, right? And
Yep.
so now you can throw Najigba in the slot. You can use Horton as kind of like the X, and then you just send Rashid Shaheed for long bombs constantly. And hopefully that'll blow the top off the defenses for the Seahawks.
Absolutely, it will. I think the Seahawks are a wagon this year, and this just makes them much better. So I think they're probably going to take that to NFC West this year, but we'll stay in the West. But in the AFC, the Chargers, kind of the knock on the Chargers a lot is Herbert doesn't have a whole lot of time to throw with as good as he is and as many weapons as he has. He needs time to throw, so they solidified their O line a little bit with tackle Trevor Penning. It only cost them a 2027 sixth, so solid move for the Chargers. They're looks like they're moving and shaking this year, looking to win that division.
Yeah, they had to make a move because they lost Rashawn Slater and now
Yeah,
Joel's has season-ending ankle surgery. So
yeah, man.
when both your tackles are gone, probably time to make a move. But
Yeah.
I'd say I'm a little bit surprised that the Saints didn't do a little bit more. I thought they would really just burn it down and just start the rebuild, but they kept a lot of pieces that I thought they would move. So
I think they're maybe just banking on the draft picks that they have, working out. Hopefully, they're going to draft well over the next couple of years and rebuild that way. But yeah, I mean, you think they'd move some pieces in a lost year. Who knows? Who knows what they're thinking? Maybe they tried and just the moves weren't there.
yeah, maybe. I know
Yeah,
teams are getting a little greedy with asking for really high picks for
yeah.
players that aren't necessarily going to offer that much return. So
Well, it was a wild trade deadline, right? And a lot of teams probably had more leverage than others, and yeah, asking for too high of a pick. Sorry, we're not trading to you, right? And football's
yeah,
funny like that, where you see other sports where it's like really good players go for multiple first round picks, and then you go to football and it's like a really good player goes for a fourth, and it's like
I know.
what? It
I
makes
know.
no, but whatever. That's football
Really
for you.
makes no sense at all. But yeah, it's interesting, and we kind of hinted at last week that I think there's just too many teams that are in the mix for it to be super active because like you go on a 3-week run here where you win 3 in a row and who knows, you could be leading your division.
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a lot of things that can change and happen. Like we said it, we used to say it all the time last year, right? The landscape of the NFL changes week to week, honestly does, right? And you could be really high on a team one week, and then next week you're like, okay, this team's nowhere near the playoffs. It's just funny that way, right? So
Yep. That's the
yeah,
beauty of it.
that's the beauty of football. So week 9 recap in the books, trade deadline come and gone. We got teams that have decided their buyers, teams that have decided their sellers. Now let's see how it goes in the race to the postseason, buddy. But we have some awards to give out. So what do you say
Let's
we
do
dish
it.
out some Bralvos?
It's our favorite time of the year.
Woo!
We do our way too early predictions in week 1 of the season. See how those are tracking.
Yep.
Mid-season Bravos are here. Let's get it going. Offensive player of the year. Who do you like, my friend?
I got to go with the number one receiver in the entire NFL right now. And it is not Jamar Chase. It is not Justin Jefferson. It's not who you think. It's Jackson Smith-Njigba, the best receiver in the NFL right now. He's got almost 1,000 yards and we're at half season. It's nuts. Like he's only got 4 touchdowns, but I mean there's a lot of red zone options for Sam Darnold, so I kind of chalk that up to that. Zach Charbonnet, the constant touchdown vulture there in Seattle, obviously, but and AJ Barner getting in on the action and stuff now too. But Jackson Smith-Njigba, OPOY, book it. Who do you got?
I mean, I think it's kind of hard to deny him this year. It's Jonathan Taylor for me. Like that guy has just been balling out, and largely in part why the Colts are doing so well to this point. They've kept him healthy. Seems like every game he's putting up multiple touchdowns, catching the ball, running the ball. Nobody quite like him this year, in my opinion.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find anyone more deserving of it this year than Jonathan Taylor. It's a solid pick, my man.
Absolutely. And who would have thought that 2 years in a row it could be a running back winning Offensive Player of the Year?
I mean, the running back surge is back.
A revival.
That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. The revival of the running back. We're seeing it here in 2025, 2024, and 2025. So,
Right.
yeah. But let's talk defense. Defensive Player of the Year, buddy. I got to know who you're going with.
I feel like I have to say him every year, and it's just kind of getting a little frustrating. But Myles Garrett,
Yeah,
right?
Myles Garrett.
Like if a defensive player could win an MVP, it'd probably be him, because
He'd have to be in the conversation.
like Cleveland really has nothing exciting to look forward to, except for maybe Quinshon Judkins and Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett making 5 sacks in a game as
Right?
the Browns still lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No doubt that a lot of tackles fear going up against this guy, because chances are that he's just going to make you look stupid game in, game out, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think there's many in this game that right now, anyways, that can break the game quite like he does on the defensive side of the ball.
It's a solid pick. I respect that a lot.
Appreciate that. Who do you like?
I'm gonna. I toyed. This one probably took me the most time to decide on, and I'm gonna go with Nick Benito, the linebacker for the Denver Broncos. The numbers are there. He's already got 8 sacks this year. He had 13 and a half last year, so he's already on pace to beat that. He had something like I think 48 or 50 tackles last year. He's already on pace to pass that mark this year. So the numbers are there, but it's not so much the numbers that you can actually see, like the tangible stats that you see. It's the stuff that you don't see on score sheets, right? It's if the offense of the team that the Broncos are playing against struggles or makes a bad play or turns the ball over or goes 3 and out, a lot of the time it's because Nick Benito made a play or factored in, or it's the QB hurries, it's the hits, it's the
Mm-hmm.
tackling a running back behind the line of scrimmage, for a loss or something like that. Like he's in on almost every play. Dude is a machine. Nick Benito, Defensive Player of the Year.
You know what? I almost actually picked him as well.
He's good, man.
He is good. And man, he's just a tackling machine. And much to your point, that's kind of how I feel about Garrett too, right? Like there's a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. And you have to remember, like guys like him, they're not just like going one-on-one against people in the hole and making a tackle. They're often getting double, triple teamed, still find a way to get a pressure or hit, sack. Like, man, it's impressive what these guys do
when you double and triple team guys like that, it opens up lanes for other guys, right? So if you're affecting the game in that way, like even if you're not making the sack, someone else is because they've got 3 guys on you and this guy's open, right? So yeah, Nick Benito, man, he's a beast. So
absolutely.
But we're gonna cover all the main categories that that NFL gives awards out for every year. But we decide we're gonna sprinkle a couple of fun ones in, a couple that really make this award show our own, right? So let's go with best duos, buddy. I got to know who your best duo is in the NFL this year.
Well, maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I have to go with Gibbs and St. Brown. I get to watch these guys every week, and every week they do something impressive. It feels maybe not so much this past week, thanks Gibbs, but 9 times out of 10, these guys are making highlight reel plays. Usually some kind of crazy run by Gibbs, some insane catching stat line for St. Brown. Usually 10 receptions for 100+ yards, a couple touchdowns in there. but it feels like every week these guys score a touchdown. Every week they're the massive part of the Detroit offense. So it's hard to imagine an offense without those two guys in it for the Lions. So for me, being a little bit spoiled, getting to watch those guys every week, that's my duo.
Solid pick. I mean, two of the best, playmakers in the game. So, I almost went. I wanted to be a homer as well. I almost went with a couple of Eagles. I obviously Saquon. I was going to go Saquon and Jalen, but I landed on Bijan Robinson and Drake London. I mean, if we're talking about two of the best playmakers in the entire league, I mean, these guys are it, right? They're both Bijan's top 10 in rushing yards, Drake London's top 10 in receiving yards. Bijan went over 100 yards in three of his last four games, so he's starting to heat up. He started hot. He had a couple of down games, but now he's heating back up. Drake London, really getting hot. He just came off a three touchdown game. So yeah, give me Bijan and Drake.
Sounds like a detective. Bijan in London.
It's some sort of adventure game, Drake. Yeah,
Yeah, or like just a detective series thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Honorable mention, Chiefs and the refs, best duos.
That's probably a solid. Yeah, every year you could probably
just running the league.
Yeah, that's it. All right, buddy. Let's get back to another actual category here. I gotta know who you want for offensive rookie of the year. Let's go.
Oh man, I'm so brokenhearted. And
I had
really
a feeling I
wanted
knew
to
who you
be
were gonna pick. Yeah.
I really wanted it to be Cam Scatterboo, but I just feel like it's been stolen away from him. But
Yeah.
I also have been teeter-tottering about these two guys all year. And if you've been listening since episode 1 on YouTube here, it's got to be Emeka Egbuka. Like, this guy, as a rookie, has made one of the biggest impacts that you could possibly ask for a guy coming into the league, walking into a receiver room that's absolutely decimated most times, and is continuing on with that trend this year. But through 7 games, he had 31 receptions, 527 yards, and 5 scores. Most guys don't even do that in 3 years as a pro.
Well, like rookies never come in and do that. Or if they do, if it's a really good rookie, like that's their line for the whole year, not half a year or 7 games or whatever. Like it's nuts. He's been so productive. He's so good. You've been high on him all year, and you've been talking about, we've heard you mention his name several times this year. He's so good, but that's it. Like that wide receiver room just keeps getting so banged up. He himself has been banged up and missed a couple games here, but yeah, as long as he can stay healthy down the stretch, I think it's pretty clear he's the front runner at this point with Cam Scatterboo done for the year.
Yeah, absolutely. He actually hasn't missed a game yet, and still banged up. And
I thought he had missed what? Didn't he miss one when he got hurt, right?
Yeah, he did get hurt, but he was supposed to miss the Lions game, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe he did get hurt in the one.
Anyway, yeah,
I can't remember now.
I've seen questionable.
The guy's banged up and showing up.
He's hurting, but he's still playing. Yeah,
making one-handed grabs, dude's just electric. So yes, that is my choice for offensive rookie of the year, and I'm sure, I think you would have agreed to if Cam Scatterboo was still alive and well right now. He'd be up there in conversation.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we're gonna go unanimous on any of our picks here this year in the Bravos, but if Scatterboo was not injured, we'd probably be unanimous there for sure. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
Who do you like?
So I'm gonna go off the board a little bit. I'm gonna go with Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end for the Indianapolis Colts, who's just been unreal. Like he's got over 500 yards receiving already. He's got a few touchdowns. He's on pace for 1,000 yards as a rookie tight end. It's just unheard of. We've seen this the past couple of years with Sam Laporta a couple of years ago came in and lit up the league. And then Brock Bowers came in last year, did the exact same thing. And now we're kind of seeing it this year again with Tyler Warren. It's just it seems like every draft class now has that one rookie tight end that just kind of comes in and lights up the league for some reason. So Tyler Warren is putting on a show, and a huge part of why the Colts are 7-2 so far.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think when we look at these awards, we got to look at who's making the biggest impacts on their team right now. And a lot of times it's not a tight end. It's one of the hardest positions to play because you have to know all your passing schemes. You have to know all the blocking schemes if you want to play full time. And this guy is electric. And you're right. He's a big part of this new wave of tight ends that's coming in and just being offensive threats instead of just this big dummy blocking all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to me that in a year where all anybody did was talk about Genty and Hampton and Tet and anybody else coming in, Cam Ward,
Yeah.
Shadur, like none of these guys are making as big of impacts as the two guys that we just mentioned, three if you want to include Cam Scadaboo.
Hmm.
And now a lot of times rookies get their attention in the back half of the season, right? But man, these guys are getting it done right from week one, and it's pretty impressive to watch.
Yeah, good on them. Like it's a struggle for any rookie to come in and learn an NFL playbook for sure. So when you can come in week one and contribute and not only contribute but dominate a lot of weeks, that's pretty impressive. So speaking of dominating, we got a couple of defensive rookies we should mention here for our front runners of defensive rookie of the year, buddy. Right from week one, Jihad Campbell. I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer here. Jihad Campbell, linebacker for the Eagles, wasn't really expected to come in and be this much of a role player, this early. And he's really just kind of taken the reins and run with it. There's been some injuries, there's been some poor play, but not by him. He's come in and just put up numbers, man. Like he's got 45 tackles, a couple passes defensed. He's got a pick. This is a guy who's playing most snaps now when he was, supposed to be, maybe play a quarter of the snaps and just kind of learn the job slowly. But he's been thrust right in and he hasn't disappointed.
That was almost our unanimous pick of the Bravos.
Okay, you
I
you were
almost
thinking
took
him as well, eh?
I did, but last minute I kind of decided I wanted to change my pick, and I thought about it a little bit more, and I really like Michael Williams from San Fran, defensive
Mhm.
end, and kind of similar situation, right? Wasn't it anticipated to come in and be a game changer right away? Pretty stout defensive line for San Fran. Well, just like over the last couple of years, they keep dropping like flies there. And all
Totally.
of a sudden, Mike Williams has to come in and play. And through his first 7 starts, he's got 16 tackles and 1 sack. So definitely getting there,
Yep.
getting home. And, especially as a defensive end, as a rookie, you're dealing with some big boys on the tackle side of things, right? And maybe it plays into his advantage a little bit because they haven't had enough tape on him to know his moves fully and all these things. But yeah, he's definitely making a difference on that San Fran defense that is seemingly helping them stay afloat in this thing until they get healthy.
Totally. Well, yeah, solid pick. So defensive rookie of the years. There you have it. Michael Williams and Jihad Campbell. We think that those are going to be the front runners. So let's go ahead and take another left turn, buddy. Let's go with the "You Had One Job" trophy. Who you got for the "You Had One Job"?
I'm still so fucking salty about this one. Kyron Williams, you had one job, man, and that's not to fumble the ball. You fumbled on the one against San Fran, who's all banged up, like we just talked about.
Yeah.
Then you got stuffed in OT.
Oof.
Not only did you lose the game for your team, you knocked Brooksee and I out of the survivor pool.
Yep.
I'm mad at you. You had one job, Kyron.
You had one job, Kyron. It's not even that hard to get one more yard. Anyway, speaking of one more yard, I had to give my "You Had One Job" trophy to two guys. They're going to share it this year. It's Adonai
Ooh.
Mitchell, probably a good indicator as to why he was traded away,
Right.
and Imari DiMercado. So Adonai Mitchell in Week 4 against the Rams had a walk-in touchdown, dropped it as he's about to cross the plane. Ball goes out the back of the end zone. It's a turnover, and the Colts, they've lost 2 games this year. That was one of them. They lost by 1 score. Imari DiMercado, the very next week in week 5, again against the Titans, who hadn't won a game yet. This was the worst team in the league, playing a winless Titans team. And he's about to walk in for a touchdown, does the same thing, drops it before he gets there, turns the ball over, and the Cardinals lose by 1 score. So both these games decided by 1 score, probably because those two guys fumbled the ball. Like, you had one job, guys. Come on,
Yeah.
just hold on to the ball through the end zone.
Amari was like, hold my beer, dude.
Exactly, exactly.
And
Yeah,
not only that, he got his coach fined because he was just like, you are such a moron, pushing him, yelling at him.
yeah.
Oh man.
Embarrassing, embarrassing.
Coaches
You had one
coaches
job.
have a tough job, right? Coaches have a tough job.
Yes, they do.
So why don't we segue into the next one? And
Let's
coach of
do
the
it.
year so far,
I like it.
who do you got?
I'm gonna be a homer again. This is the last time, I
Are
swear.
you fucking
This is
serious?
the last time, I swear. When is Nick Sirianni going to get his flowers? Here's a guy who is 54 and 22 as a head coach with his win-loss record, good for 711 winning percentage, which is the best among all active coaches right now, let's be honest. And this is a guy who leads his team to winning records every year. They're winning the NFC East. They're winning, the NFC outright. They're winning Super Bowls. When is this guy going to get his flowers? I got to Nick Sirianni. The Eagles are 6-2 again this year, favorites to win the NFC again. Give me Nick Sirianni for a change. Finally, when's it his turn?
When you're
I
on a
love the
team that
reaction. I love it.
the team that buys all their talent, you're gonna sit there and
You
say
still
that
got
he
to coach
deserves.
him.
Oh my goodness, no. Those players coach themselves, my friend. If Dan Campbell's not gonna win it, you're not gonna win it with Nick Sirianni.
Come
And
on.
of all the coaches, you pick like, oh, this is what he's done his whole career. It's this year, man. It's this year.
I know, but what I'm saying is he's been snubbed every year so far, and all he does is win. So I think in year 5, it's time for him to win.
Yeah. Of all the coaches you could have picked, that's the one you
I
picked.
love the reaction.
Fucking guy.
Okay, well, who you got?
Well,
Let's
I'm
hear
going
it.
to take an actual thing that's impressive, and I'm going to take Shane Steichen. What he's done with
Yeah.
that Colts team, pumping up Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones. Like, how does it get any sweeter than that? That Colts team was expected to do absolutely nothing. I think the expectations were about as high as you going out to the bar. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
it's not
very
going to
high.
happen. Yeah.
Not very high.
No.
But I think the main point is here. I think the Colts team has bought in around him. Every game has been super consistent for the most part, I would say. Maybe outside this last one against the Steelers. Which I mean, again, Steelers well coached, usually pretty good defense. You kind of expect it to be a tighter game, right?
Yeah, you can't be
But
on
I
every
think
game.
no, but I think Steichen's got these guys all fired up. They're playing at a higher level than they have over the last 2, 3, maybe even 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And every guy knows their role on that team.
That's
And
it.
now they just got even better, adding in Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
So I think, at least the midseason here before the epic collapse happens, I'm going with Shane Steichen.
The former celebrated Eagles offensive coordinator Shane
I
Steichen,
knew
who
you were
took
gonna
that
find a way to
head coaching
sneak that
job,
in.
and of course, and you know what? I'd be fine with him getting his flowers this year. He's done a great job with that Colts team. Let's be serious. You're right. No one expected the Colts to do this year, and everything's working. So whatever systems that he's put in place for this year with the players that he's got on that 53-man squad, it's working. So Shane Steichen's a solid
Absolutely.
pick. Yeah.
I still want it to be Dan Campbell though.
Honorable mention, Dan Campbell, of course, every year.
Right, every year.
All right, man. Let's move into our comeback player of the year. I got to know who you think has made the most impactful comeback in this 2025 NFL season.
The Kim Kardashian Award.
That
I'm gonna go.
it gets me every time.
I'm gonna go with the guy we just talked about, Daniel Jones. How can it not be him?
Yep.
Like this guy ran out of town in New York, belittled in every which way. Probably not his fault for 90% of it. He said, you know what? I'm just going to go be a backup in mini and behind Sam Darnold at the end of last year. Could have signed with any other team,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even potentially started for a couple of them. He's like, nope, I'm going to sit behind in Minnesota, pays his dues, and now gets his flowers halfway through the year here. Daniel Jones, you got
Comeback
the Bravo
player.
for the comeback player.
And let's not forget he actually came into Indy like the goal was for him to be the backup to Anthony Richardson. And in camp, Anthony Richardson lost his job to Daniel Jones and Jones
Right.
to his credit has just run with it since. So I mean, yeah, like he wasn't even expected to be the starter coming into this year and to do what he's done. It's just stupid. So that's a solid
Right.
pick for comeback player of the year.
When you have all this talent in Anthony Richardson, you're like, you know what, bud? You can just come in and mop up duty.
Yeah.
You've done a pretty good job.
I think so, yeah.
Who's your pick for the Kim Kardashian Award?
My Kim Kardashian award goes to I got to give it to Christian McCaffrey. This guy,
Yeah.
and this is the guy who everyone, clamors to, who they've been clamoring for years to pick this guy first overall in most fantasy drafts. And I usually avoid him because I know how injury prone this guy is. To his credit, he's stayed healthy this year. He looks really good. He's both top 10 in rushing yards and he's top 10 in receiving yards. For a running back, that's stupid. Like he's ahead of some crazy names on the receiving yards list. Like he's ahead of Devontae Smith. He's ahead of He's ahead of Drake London. He's ahead of Jalen Waddle. He's ahead of Cortland Sutton, Amika Ibuka. Like there's some crazy names, crazy good wide receivers on the list that Christian McCaffrey has more receiving yards than. He's seventh on the list in this year. So like the true Christian McCaffrey dual purpose back that can run and catch and basically be your entire offensive focal point. Christian McCaffrey's back. He's got to be the comeback player of the year.
It's so disgusting how much talent he has. Like even
Yeah.
being that banged up year after year.
hmm
You know why he's healthy? It's because you and I didn't take him in a pool for
That's
once.
exactly it. Yeah.
Last year, man, I was in an 18 team pool. I had the first overall pick. Who did I take? Christian McCaffrey.
Of course.
Guess how many games he played for me?
Like,
3.
yeah, I was gonna say two, I think. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
an 18 team pool, when you pick first, then don't pick again to 36, that's a tough player to lose.
Yeah, I have to imagine your pool did not go well.
It did not.
It did not.
Oh, man.
Speaking of things that did go well, though, buddy, let's move on. We got another one here. I want to talk about electric moments. What is the NFLA Bralvonians electric moment of the NFL season so far this year?
Ooh, well, there's been a ton of all you nasties being thrown around so
There
far,
have.
and very there's so many players that are deserving for this. And when you try and comb through, they all just become blurry after a while. So I'm gonna just be a
Yeah.
bit of a homer here because he hasn't had much impact to this point. In the preseason, this guy was flying all over the place. Isaac Tesla from the Detroit Lions,
Solid.
making one-handed touchdown grabs left, right, and center. Well, at least 2 of them, and down the sidelines to the point where it was joked about if this guy even has 2 hands because all he does is catch with one.
He definitely
So,
doesn't know how to use both to catch
no,
anyway. Just the one.
I don't know if he's had a catch since. So, dude, just be in situations that you only need one hand. You'll be just fine.
The two catches that he had, though, with those two one-handed catches back-to-back weeks, absolutely highlight reel, just game breaker catches. Just so good,
Oh, yeah.
so nice, electric for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I had to be a homer here as well. I got to go back to week 3. The Eagles beat the Rams, and they were down 26-7 in the third quarter, and then staged a 26-point comeback, 26 unanswered points, including 2 blocked field goals in the fourth quarter. Jalen Carter blocked the first, Jordan Davis blocked the second as time expired, and then ran back that ball, that blocked field goal, for a touchdown to walk off the Rams. I got to go with the Eagles block party in week 3 getting it done.
Pretty impressive moment, especially from the big man. I think the run back was more impressive than the actual block itself.
336-pound Jordan Davis just rumbling. But like you don't see blocked kicks all that often. Actually, you're starting to see it more often than not nowadays. Teams are starting to really practice that skill set, right? But you don't see it twice in one game, let alone
Right.
twice in a quarter. And for the Eagles to do it twice in the fourth quarter to put a statement, like a stamp on this game, this comeback victory, huge moment, electric moment for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, here's the big one. And we
Here we
could
are.
probably debate this all day long. And I'm
Here we
sure
are.
all Bravonians could do it as well.
Yep.
I guess I'm just sick of seeing the same old names up there. And I'm just going to lead it. And I've been leading the charge all year. I claimed this one in week 1.
You did.
Baker Mayfield.
Sticking with it, eh?
And I know they've they had that loss against the Lions where he didn't look great.
Yep.
Not always his fault. But like I said, based on the circumstances that we talked about, receiver room is decimated. They lost Bucky Irving. The run game's been kind of struggling. Cade Otton's been unreal as well, the tight end there. So between him and Ibuka, who does he really have, right? And they still find a way to win games. I think he's got like 5 last-minute game-winning drives.
Yeah.
He's just doing things at an impressive level, and it would look really great for him to get his flowers this year and start to really prove people wrong.
It'd be, I think, robbery at this point if he doesn't get it. But I gotta go with Drake May, quarterback for the New England Patriots. He's taken a monstrous step forward this year. The Patriots are 7-2. No one expected them to be anywhere close to this level of like their first place above the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. Nobody
Right.
expected this. Drake May has really just kind of taken Mike Vrabel's tutelage, whoever the offensive I forget the offensive coordinator's name in New England right now, but whatever system that he's put in place for
Josh
Drake,
Daniels.
that's it. Yep. Uh, so Drake May's just taken that and run with it, right? He's got some weapons now. He's got that poise. I think Drake May, like honestly, last year he had just over 2,200 yards passing. He's already passed that this year, and we're halfway through the year. He's over what he threw for last year yards. He's thrown for more touchdowns this year than all of last year. He threw 15 touchdowns last year. He's already passed that this year, and only 4 picks. So he's got a passer rating of 117 through half a season. The guy is lights out right now. So give me Drake May MVP.
Yeah, that's a sneaky pick
I
right
had a
there.
hard
I
time
like
not
it.
being a homer and picking Jalen Hurts here. I've
Of
got to
course you
tell you
did.
this
Like,
right
I
now.
mean,
Honorable mention to Jalen Hurts. I had to
you
not
had to
pick him,
leave at
but
least
I
one
wanted to.
category out for.
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
wanted to do it. But Drake May and Baker Mayfield are our MVPs, of course, because it's a quarterback award, usually. So,
Usually, I mean, I don't really know if I could think of too many other players right now that could maybe be in line for it, other than maybe Jonathan Taylor, Smith Najigba.
yeah.
Outside of that, like, who'd you really pick?
Yeah, there's just a handful of guys, but yeah, no one that's kind of doing what these guys are doing.
Right. Whereas last year we kind of had a serious debate whether it could be a position player that would win it, right? And
Yeah.
so I think we're seeing why.
Any number of guys, right? Jamar, there's Saquon, Derrick Henry last year. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
for sure.
yep, it should be a quarterback again this year. So, third annual Bravos in the books. What do we think?
Mid-season Bravos.
Yes. Yes. The main Bravos. Yeah.
I think a lot of our picks are shaping up kind of how we maybe thought they would. Definitely some surprises in there. I don't think you know, based on something like Daniel Jones being come back, Shane
Right.
Steichen being, coach of the year. Like I said, the offensive rookies, when everyone was talking about those big three or four that we already talked about, it's kind of nice to see some other guys emerging. And I feel like it's happening more and more over the years here, where some of these overhyped guys aren't really doing much, at least to start their career. And so some of these other guys start to get the spotlight. And, you just hate to see some of these injuries derail some of the seasons that have been going on. But yes, another midseason Bravo in the books. Maybe you agree with us. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't. Tell us about it. Get that engagement up.
Yeah,
Tell us.
you can even chirp me for not fucking dressing up a little bit
Yeah,
for the
who
goddamn
is this guy?
award show. Calvo looks sharp and I look like a goddamn hobo here, so
Yeah, he's the guy that shows up to a wedding in jean shorts and a tank top.
yeah, but I make those jean shorts look good, let's be
It's
honest.
true. You do. It's true. They call him mini dumper.
Mini dumper, that's
Yeah,
it.
we don't want to get
That's my
sued
name.
here. Big dumper's already taken.
Yeah, big dumper's taken. Can't do that. Sorry,
Sure.
Colorado.
Yeah, but absolutely. Drop us a like if you like the Bravos. Maybe include a few other joke categories that you want to see in the future. But
Perfect.
again, let's have some engagement. Let's see your Bravo awards.
Absolutely. So from there, let's move on. We got a couple. The second half of the season is not wasting any time getting here. We got a couple of Week 10 matchups coming up that should be bangers. We got the international slate continuing. The Atlanta Falcons and the Indianapolis Colts going to Berlin, Germany to play. And I know most of the international games have been stinkers this year, buddy, but this one, I mean, you never know what you're going to get out of the Falcons week to week, especially if they're playing in fucking Europe. But yeah, yeah, exactly. You can
Coin
flip a
flip to
coin
see
to
which team's going to show up
see
this
what
week.
Falcons team's going to show up. But what do you think? What do you think of this one?
I think it's an interesting one because, like, yeah, the Colts have already lost one game, but I want to see how they bounce back from a game where they kind of got pretty stymied by the Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah,
And yes, you're in kind of a weird territory. You're playing in Berlin. It's not really a home game, right? But you know, maybe the good people of Berlin are still a little hungover from Oktoberfesting, and the crowd's going to get wild. But I think it's kind of an interesting matchup because you have two offenses that should be pretty decent, and then obviously the Colts are going to be riding high, just getting Sauce Gardner, so he's going to bring some vibes to that team for sure.
yeah. Falcons coming off that tough loss to the Patriots last week. So let's talk about those Patriots coming off that um, wild win. They're taking on the Bucks, who are just coming off their bye. Patriots and Bucks. This is huge for both their teams' playoff implications. Obviously, the AFC NFC crossover doesn't mean too much for tiebreakers or anything like that. But we got 7-2 versus 6-3. Or sorry, 6-2, because the Bucks were on the bye. But yeah, this one should be a fucking shootout, I think.
It's going to be a great game. And I think, again, it's either going to be one of those, it's going to be a complete blowout, no defense happening,
Yeah,
or it's going to be a tightly contested battle because both defenses are pretty good, but both quarterbacks like to sling it. So it should be a
yeah,
pretty entertaining game, in my opinion.
yeah.
I think both teams might struggle to establish the run. So yeah, both quarterbacks should be slinging.
Yeah, I really think that that one is going to be a offensive battle. And speaking of offensive battles, Brock Purdy coming back for the 49ers. He's hosting the LA Rams. So I mean, anytime these two teams meet, it's huge. But these division battles go a long way towards determining, playoff matchups and seedings and tiebreakers and stuff like that. So Rams, Niners, huge game. Rams are 6-2, Niners are 6-3. So this, yeah, like I said, this is going to be very telling for tiebreakers.
Very much so. And obviously the 49ers already got the Rams number once, right? And you
Yeah.
don't want to lose two in a row to them, especially for the division, right? So
Yeah.
you got those sneaky Seahawks that are in there right in the mix there too.
Oh
So you
yeah.
can't really afford to lose any games here. But
No.
yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, Puka Nakua is back now too for the Rams.
Yeah.
They easily routed New Orleans last week, so a little tougher test this week. But I'm not putting any money on the Rams this week.
Definitely not. Three teams at 6 wins in that NFC West, the toughest division in football this year. But from there, we'll move on. We'll stay in the NFC, but let's go to the North and the East, the Lions and Commanders. Lions coming off their oof, tough loss to Mini, going into Washington, but they're getting to face Jaden Daniel-less Commanders team. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I don't think it was that tough of a loss. Like they didn't get blown out. They only lost by
No,
3 points, and it took a block field goal and a
still shouldn't have
fumble
lost.
in plus territory for the Vikings to get it done. But
I just
yes,
love giving you a hard time.
the Lions should have won that one. I'm just keeping you in your place here,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Don't get running around too much with it. But one thing I do know is I kind of wish that Jane Daniels didn't get hurt because I know the Lions really wanted to prove everybody wrong that the Commanders should not have beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Lions are a better team than the Commanders are. Fortunately, we're not going to get a chance to see that full rematch because Jaden is unfortunately dealing with a dislocated elbow. Again, body parts aren't supposed to face that way.
Yeah, that was
So,
gross.
yeah. And, but Commanders in the couple games that Jane Daniels hasn't been there haven't necessarily looked the worst under Mariota. So we'll see. But I do think their defense can be got. And they just lost Marshawn Lattimore as well for the year. I think it was hamstring, pretty sure.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota is a good quarterback, but he's not Jaden Daniels. So,
Right.
yeah, you're right. Like when you're one of the best teams, you want to prove that you're one of the best teams by beating the best. And obviously, you're not going to get the best Commander squad this year. And honestly, their year might be over. But yeah, I mean, you'll take it, right? A win's a win, and if you got a better chance at a win, you got to keep pace in that division at this point. So,
Well, it's very rare these days for the Lions to lose two in a row. So chances are a bounce back is in order here.
I think so. And then Monday night, we got the Eagles, we got the Packers. The Eagles go into
Oh,
Lambeau
yuck.
coming off their bye week. They're rested. They're going into Lambeau where they're usually pretty good. They beat Green Bay in Lambeau most times. So I'm hoping for more of the same. Hopefully we can go to 7-2 and stay right on top of that NFC.
There couldn't be a worse Monday nighter, in my opinion. Oh my God.
Two
Two
teams you
teams.
fucking hate, eh?
I hate them both, and maybe we'll get another tie. Come on, get another tie.
Oh man, like I mean honestly, like when you go into Lambeau, you're expecting a tough game, but Carolina went into Lambeau last week, and if Carolina can go into Lambeau and win, the fucking Eagles sure as shit can.
Carolina has a run game, man.
Did you forget who Saquon Barkley plays for?
Oh, was he on the team this year? So I don't think he's done very much.
It's actually fair criticism. Shit. Okay, you got me.
But no, it should in all seriousness, obviously it's
Could be a
quite the
banger.
tilt. Probably gonna be the game of the week,
Yeah.
just based on some of the other ones that are going on. I did feel like it was kind of a hard week to pick though. And maybe
Yeah.
that move us into our locks and dogs here because sadly, my boys, my old boys,
It's all over.
broke my my winning streak, I should say. So Calvo moves to 8-1 on the locks,
No
unfortunately.
longer perfect with his locks record. He drops. You got cocky. You can't keep picking your own team, man. You
I
got
know.
burned.
Well, is what it is. So why don't
Okay,
you
so who are
start?
you going with this week?
Oh, you want me to start? Okay.
You might as well. Yeah, here or here.
I felt like this was kind of a hard week to pick. There's a few that are like, yeah, I could see that, but I didn't want to like go complete layup here, but maybe it is anyways. But I'm going to take the Denver Broncos over the Las Vegas Raiders.
I mean, any given Sunday, right? And the Raiders are having a rough year, so it should be a
It
layup
is
for Denver.
it is
But
a division game, but I mean
yeah,
the Raiders just gave Jacksonville all they could handle,
hmm
and it'd be interesting to see. But I think Denver's a much better team than Jacksonville, so
yeah, they have much better offense. I mean, I think Jacksonville's defense has been really good this year. They're kind of playing well above average, or actually probably pretty on par with Denver's defense this year. But the difference is the offense for sure, and Denver's just clicking. So yeah, that's a solid pick. With my lock, I won last week. I picked Baltimore. Of course, they got it done. Baltimore's a wagon again. I'm 6-3 with my lock, so I am getting cocky. Not cocky, but I feel like, like what you said, not very often Detroit loses 2 games in a row. So I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions over the Commanders as my lock of the week.
oh, you guy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You're
You do
welcome.
think they're the best team in the league, so
I,
that's what
I
we'll go with.
did. I did. When did I say that? Last week? 2 weeks
Oh,
ago?
did you wash that filth off or
Well, Minnesota washed that filth off.
right? Uh, one thing is for sure, you're always going to look like an idiot. uh,
Oh,
shit.
man.
Well, one thing you have been crushing on is your dogs.
Yeah. Won again this past week with my Buffalo pick. So
Yeah.
six and
Which, I
three.
mean, again, I don't know how Buffalo was the dogs on that one, but we don't make the rules.
They're playing Kansas City. What?
Yeah, Buffalo dominates them in the regular season. They
Well,
just can't
yeah.
beat them when it matters the most.
Casey's rolling right now, though, so it made sense. Anyway, Buffalo won as I thought. So I'm gonna go with talk me. Here we go getting cocky again with you win a dog's pick, finally get back in the win column, and you get a little bit overeager. But I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. They should. I think they're 1.5 point dogs, but I think they're gonna go into Lambeau and get it done. Let's go
Again, we don't
Eagles.
make the rules, folks. I use the score bet, check the spreads. That's how I determine who's the lock and
Same
the
here.
dog. So Vegas sets these spreads, okay? Not us.
Not us.
But
Eagles dogs in Lambeau. They're gonna fly. Who do
it's
you
kind
got?
of a risky pick for you.
Yeah.
I'm also going to kind of do a little bit of a risky pick here. I'm going to take a divisional game. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars to beat the
Oh,
Houston Texans.
I almost went with this one actually. This is a solid pick.
Maybe a little bit more of a layup if Davis Mills is going to be starting this game for the Texans, but the Texans still have a pretty stout defense for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Might give Jacksonville some trouble, but that was the matchup I like. So recap: Calvo, Denver with the locks, Jacksonville with the dogs.
With your 3-6 dog record, is starting to make it somewhat respectable. So I like that. But yeah, I'm at 6-3. So I went Detroit with my lock, Philly with my dog. We'll see how this plays out this coming weekend, buddies. But I think that's going to wrap up episode 10 and wraps up the third annual Bralvo Awards. It's really the only ceremony where some of the winners will be proud and the rest will be angrily DMing us after the show.
And apparently, the only awards ceremony where only one of the hosts dress up.
Yeah, well, that's it. we,
But
we half-ass everything here, so
you know what? I'm fine with it though. I'm
yeah,
usually the better looking one anyway. So
that's
the only
right.
thing that matters is that nobody sues us.
Yep.
Please, Kim Kardashian. We're big fans.
Huge fan.
Love your videos.
Huge fan of your acting. Yeah.
Man, but that was a blast. We handed out awards like we were Oprah doing one of her crazy giveaway specials. You
If
get a
only,
Bravo.
yeah, man.
You
If
get a
only,
Bravo.
that's it. But if only Oprah was as generous as us. We're just doling out these Bravos left and right here. So, but that's what we do here, though. We're just making the world a better place, one questionable episode at a time. Huge thanks to everyone out there who enjoys our content or even just tolerates us through another season of terrible takes and emotional whiplash.
Tolerates indeed. But
Yeah,
we do it for you, Bralvonians. And we've been seeing it. The views are sneaking up there on
they
each
are.
video.
We love it.
Hopefully the likes and the comments start to fall a little bit more in the shares because hopefully you guys like it as much as we do.
Need some
And
engagement. Yeah, we need some
yeah,
comments to respond to in future episodes.
absolutely. I'd love to do an episode where it's like the audience takes or the Bravonians takes,
Yeah.
right? and just put up your receipts so that way we can call you an idiot. Just joking. We love you all.
We're well above 10%. We told the Bravonians in the first year we'd be wrong 90% of the time. We're probably wrong maybe 50% of the time this year. I think we're getting the hang of this.
Hey, in baseball, man, that's multi-million dollars.
Honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. What a joke.
So if
Anyways.
only the success will start to follow us. I'm sure.
Yeah. And if not, who cares? We enjoy doing it.
That's it.
Like to belittle each other and just having a good time talking about football. So if you haven't already, drop a like on the video, share it, tell your friends, follow us on social media. The NFLA page is there.
Mm-hmm.
We noticed that's been getting a few more views lately too. So thank you very much if you're new to the channel, and if you've been with us since day one, much love.
And we definitely want to hear from you after this episode. We got to hear who your picks are for all the awards. And yeah, as always, we'll be back next week to pretend that we're serious analysts again. But for now, we're gonna go celebrate like champions, buddy. So hell of a show, my man.
Absolutely. You too, brother. And I'll see you next week.
Hell yeah.
Well, we hope to see you all back next week. Unfortunately, it won't be as exciting. There won't be Bravos next week, but there will be lots to talk about. So I'm Calvo. That's Brooksee. This is the NFLA.
Peace.
See you next week.